There you are.
What the hell, JJ?
Hit record. Let's go.
Oh, we're live streaming, dude. We're like, this is technology at its finest.
I saw you FaceTime me for a second, and I thought, well, that'd be an interesting way to die in a car accident while FaceTiming about Christianity. It'd be a good way to punch your ticket.
Absolutely. Look, this is a meeting of minds, my friend. This has been how long in the making? I don't even know.
2 years. You've been vigilant. And
I still
question that was so specific via Twitter, and I thought, well, it's a great question, but for me the answer was so simple, and I was interested in the other side of the debate. And your question was, can empathy and intelligence coexist? Am I getting it correctly?
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, absolutely.
Who's taking the side of no?
Well, to set a bit of context, I actually spoke to Rob Bell about this. I've been in this sort of echo chamber, JJ, for probably 6 months. I'm very tapped into the sort of conversation that's sort of going on where there's sort of two sides. Like there's kind of facts versus feelings, and you've got one group sort of saying, I don't care about your feelings, I care about the facts. And then you've got people going, my experience is all that matters, blah, blah, blah. Without going into detail, because we can, I guess, but that's sort of what's happening. And it's sort of in the realm of this kind of feminist, anti-feminist kind of rhetoric. And it's like, I've kind of, like I said, I've been in this echo chamber for like 6 months trying to figure this shit out. And I hear you talk to Rob and sort of go, yeah, sign me up for that. And then I sort of see all this craziness going, I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense of it all.
I think the moment you make sense of it all, you become one of the loons. And I think the moment that you're certain of anything, you're as nutty as an atheist. The atheists make me crazy because they're certain. They tell us there is nothing. There is nothing, period. They close the door behind them. They're certain. And these are brilliant minds, of Richard Dawkins, of Penn Jillette, of Bill Mohr. These are actually brilliant men. Brilliant men that certainly in their bones must know that they're smart enough to know that they cannot be certain of anything that's beyond the human condition. So, I would hope that you continue to seek and wonder and stay in that chamber, but stay open to love and human contact. Don't become a Howard Hughes about it. But if you figured it all out, then you've done something. You're setting the bar a little high for yourself, my love. So I think that search, that questioning, that wondering, and Rob Bell, as you've heard, he and I speak, is the true missing piece of the puzzle of Christianity, because for so long it's been my way or the highway, in or out.
Yeah.
No room for discussion. And it's guys like you and Rob that are discussing and searching that are going to throw the church forward.
Yeah. Oh, Rob's amazing. He's helped me so much, Jay. And a good friend of mine gave me Rob's books in a time where I was just absolutely broken and absolutely, I grew up in this Christian bubble and, just everything fell apart. And, I didn't know if I could still hold my faith, quite frankly. And, Rob sort of created this space where I was like, oh, wow, there's questions I can, because I sort of got kicked to the edges of my own sort of faith community because I asked the questions, as Rob does, that you're not supposed to ask, And I sort of reflected this idea to him. I said, I was
Hold on. That sentence you just said, you asked a question you were not supposed to ask, right?
Yeah.
Like, really pause on that.
I've paused.
You were not supposed to act. Like, who are these people? They're scared.
But
how do they represent you and I? How do they represent Rob Bell, a pastor?
Well,
John Shelby Spong, the Italian church of Newark, New Jersey, who welcomed gays and lesbians that wanted to love Christ and accept him into their heart, and stood up and said, "Of course you can come in here."
Yeah.
So who are these people? What is a wrong question? Jesus on the cross looked up and essentially cursed out his father
Yeah.
Thou shalt not forsake thy mother and father. God, why hast thou forsaken me? That's not exactly, I can't wait to get up to paradise. It'd be Rob Bell and I spoke at length. It'd be a way easier brand to sell. You'd move a lot more cars off the car lot if his last words were, I can't wait to be reunited with my father
in
paradise, instead of a teenager essentially going, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, to make this point, I mean, Peter Rollins, who you totally need to have on your show, I know Rob recommended him as well to you, but he sort of has this line where he says, on the cross, Christ becomes an atheist, that this, my God, why have you forsaken me, is this sort of existential loss of everything. And
he's not an atheist, he's an agnostic, because he doesn't know, he's questioning still. An atheist wouldn't look up. An atheist would just say bye-bye.
Jay, I adore the fact that the word atheist is as toxic to you as it is to me.
They're just fools. Like, nobody knows anything. They don't even know. Look, scientists they cannot prove to you that a black hole exists, yet we just speak of them as an entity in space that has enormous powers of gravitational pull, and they suck things in, and but they've never been proven to exist, but they're still studied relentlessly. And we know that there are other planets, and there are no weird. Every star is a sun for another galaxy, but we don't know where these galaxies are. But we just know that it's true. It's just to be certain of anything. It's just so, I don't know, moronic. And at least an agnostic, I can pat on the back and say, I respect the fact that you just don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's the irony. It's the cognitive dissonance, isn't it? That atheism and its claim to be so open-minded has come to all its conclusions before they open their mouth.
But yet also their need, if they were really certain of anything, they wouldn't feel the need to mock Christians.
Yeah.
And don't tell me I believe in Santa Claus and this invisible man in the sky with a big beard. It's like, well, thank you for thinking my idea of the Lord Almighty is the drawing of a third grader. It's a little more enormous than that. But to get back to your question about empathy and intelligence, I tweeted it, and I'll say to you, to me it was so easy in one direction. That's why I wanted to talk to you about it immediately.
Oh, great.
But I don't know how somebody could say you cannot have empathy and intelligence. Well,
I could introduce you to some of these people, Jay, and it's quite scary. And someone just commented, atheism doesn't require certainty, only belief. In there not being God in the traditional sense. Some atheist rhetoric.
If you don't believe in anything, why are you tweeting us to rectify your position? Beat it. Beat it. Not interested in what you have to say. This is a Christian discussion. There's no reason for an atheist to spit. No. Beat it. You're selling nothing. If you're selling nothing, then don't chime in with something. Beat it.
I love it.
Get the fuck away from two people that believe in a greater power having a discussion about said greater power, male or female, or George Carlin would say, the great electron in the sky, it doesn't judge, it just is. If you don't believe in this, get the fuck out of the conversation. When you decide to accept that there's something greater than yourself, whether it be your mother and father, an AA meeting, look at all these people together trying to get sober. Your child. I went to an AA meeting and a man prayed to his tractor as his higher power because it provided for his family. Until you are willing to put down your hipster, Brooklyn, disposable bicycle, microbrew brain mentality of there is nothing, I'm certain these guys are fools, yet let me really redefine what atheism means, get the fuck out of the pool.
I love it. I adore this. Oh, this is amazing. No, it's beautiful.
They always want to go, no, that's not what it means. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Talking about you.
It's really funny, actually. I came up with this term called, in feminism, they have the word mansplaining, like, this idea that a man can't speak for a woman. I sort of came up with this term faith-splaining, like when atheists want to faith-splain, like, They want to tell you what you believe and then mock it. It's sort of a bit absurd.
But the moment you say atheism, believing in nothing, the Twitter feed clogs up with, first of all, it's not an ism. It's like Bill Clinton. Describe the. What do you mean by the? It's like we're talking about Christ, the body of Christ. You and I now, in this present moment, we're talking about the body of Christ. Why are atheists listening? Why do you even know this is happening? Why are you following either one of us?
Yeah.
On Twitter.
yeah, exactly.
When you know we're having a discussion about Christ.
Yeah.
And
I have to.
You're very well aware two seekers are on the line.
Jay, I feel almost evil saying this to you, but I have to tell you this. I got blocked on a Twitter account by Ricky Gervais. By simply because he goes into this about like belligerent atheist mode, right? And he made some ridiculous tweet about, I believe, he goes, a moose lives in my wardrobe, and if you don't believe me, you're hateful and a bigot. And I tweeted him. I said, Ricky Gervais, I said, Richard Dawkins' tweets are funnier than yours right now. Please address this. And he actually blocked me for that. It's insane.
Wow. Well. If my, I don't understand. I don't understand this. But I don't understand the whole. Well, I don't want to give them any more time. Let's get back to empathy and intelligence.
Yes, exactly. I love it.
What is the argument?
Well, it's this sort of idea. Okay.
They cannot. Hold on. What's the argument for they cannot coexist?
Well, it's this. I don't know if you heard the term social justice warriors. It's sort of this term that's been coined to describe the kind of, the kind of people that care, or they sort of get offended on other people's behalf. It's like, oh, you can't say that because you might offend somebody that may or may not even be in the room. It's sort of language. Yeah. It's this language policing. It's this. It gets so crazy. Like. It's this guy Milo Yiannopoulos. I spoke to him in December. He's just blowing. You two would be the meeting of minds. But he's doing it's called the Dangerous Faggots Tour. He's a gay Catholic conservative. You would adore him. But he's a free speech. It's just all about free speech, right? But he sort of has a thing where he says, it's narrative over fact. It's people sort of creating a story and defending it to its bitter end. It's sort of a bit atheism in a way, to not go back to that. But it's a bit victim narrative where the point, to sum it up, Jay, is people are being told this narrative where they're perpetually victims. And, I have mental health issues. Like, I've been to a mental hospital twice, dude. Like, I get this. I get the victim narrative, and I get that people can play victim, and I get that life is bloody and messy and people are broken and it's a bit fucked up. But, like, you believe the Jesus narrative like I do, and you believe in redemption and hope and forgiveness. And Jesus did not say, hey, you're all victims and it's going to be okay. He's like, I'm going to put you back together, right?
Yeah, I mean, what you're describing is, and what Rob Bell's book is, How to Be Here. It's almost like, I love the book of Matthew because it's sort of Christ as Buddhist. He sort of mellows out and becomes almost like this Buddhist. The teaching really mellow out, but when you're talking about life is suffering and life, I mean, the Buddha is the one that says life is suffering. And the reassemblage of the human body, Christ does not promise that, but he does promise salvation. And I think that salvation is to be interpreted. I don't think the letter of the law. And I think when people call me a cafeteria Catholic, the best compliment you could pay somebody that is under the age of 50. Because it means I'm thinking for myself, exactly. And I'm realizing if we started writing about the Revolutionary War today, how factually correct would it be?
Yeah.
But that's how we're writing. That's the book of the Bible.
Yeah.
And Rob Bell has some real big balls on him when he always says, in this story, Christ looks up and says, God, why hast thou forsaken me?
Yeah.
If you're a pastor, you're not supposed to call it a story. It's what happened. It's the word, capital W.
I grew up in this world. I completely understand.
And But I do believe in Christ as the Son of God. I do believe in redemption. And I think it all ties together. There's three names throughout it: Buddha, Allah, and Christ are the three. I mean, look, the Beatles were pretty damn big, my man, but nobody's walking around praising Lennon and McCartney. That's the songbook. Gershwin and Cohen and all those guys. There's been a lot of famous folks. Elvis Presley. No, it's those three. Those are the ones.
Yeah. So for once,
but they intertwine throughout history. And when you talk about life as suffering, when you talk about that's Buddha, but when you talk about Namaste and the divinity within me sees the respects the divinity within you, I think our redemption, as Father Tim at St. Monica's Church in Santa Monica, California, told me, our baptisms happen daily, our redemptions happen daily, our ability to alter somebody else's life simply by smiling, shaking their hand because you had no idea what they went through before they saw you. That's the divinity. That's the divine spark within you. And you have the ability to put somebody on a separate course simply by being kind. So if you want to micromanage the word, you can do so as such. The macro is the crucifixion, the resurrection, etc. But I don't think you can have empathy without intelligence, because empathy needs to be arrived at before our primal need for ourselves. Empathy is selfless. And the first thing you do is you either cover up, like, when the shit hits the fan, you cover up, you cover your ribs, protect your face and nuts, or you lash out and say, fuck that guy. Fuck you. Oh, watch out. And then to dig through that and weed through that and arrive at, I can't believe that happened to you. How may I be of service? How may I help you? You must be intelligent to go through that digging in the dirt. Peter Gabriel, come on, folks, look it up.
We just had a comment that we just had a comment that said, "Shut the fuck up." Is this Jay Mohr?
It's me, baby. So I don't think you can have empathy without intelligence. I think to be empathetic is exercising your intelligence and exercising your heart and casting aside your need for self, because to be empathetic is selfless.
Yeah.
And that's hard to get through. Your fight or flight is the first thing that kicks in is, or I'm going to knock somebody out. And to be empathetic is to be there for someone else, which takes intelligence.
They said, I thought it was Eddie Vedder.
What?
That's what the comment said. Oh God.
Eddie Vedder, I would love to talk to you, Christianity. You need to be empathetic. This is elderly woman. The thing with Eddie Vedder, the bit I did a long time ago was he would always ramble on stage forever leading up to the song, but the ramble had nothing to do with the song. We're doing like, I come from a woman, my mother, and Stone just had a baby girl, this is daughter. Like, at least he had a daughter, and, somebody had a baby girl. But Eddie Vedder would go, I don't know if you know the Book of Lamentations. It's about a city in ruin, and people forget all about the Book of Lamentations. But in case you've forgotten, this is elderly woman behind the counter in the small. You're like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Hey, let's not forget Jesus Christ's last words, but I thirst, So, with no further ado, this is Bugs.
It's really funny, Jay. Sorry to make a bit of a serious point here, but I know that you go on Periscope a lot because I notice it and I see you. But I sort of said this on a live stream the other day. I was like, I sort of feel like the world, at least the world I'm sort of in this echo chamber of, just kind of needs a hug, right? Like there's a lot of broken, hurting people. And I saw you a while ago, like you were literally like reading your kid a story, like in bed, right? Just like, and it was almost prophetic to me. I was just going, wow, the world needs this. Like, the world needs to
the bedtime stories?
Yeah, dude, like it's amazing. It's amazing.
My wife told me no more
Oh, don't,
parents, no,
no, don't.
private.
Oh God, don't stop. Honestly, it's incredible, Jay. Like the
What
world.
was it that you? No, I enjoyed it, but I do feel like I'm sort of violating something.
I know. It's awkward. I get it. And there was something profound.
Talk me into it.
Well, there's something profound. I'm a salesman, by the way. I'll definitely sell you on this idea. No, there was something profound about it, and I would argue prophetic. I know it's a bit. Yeah, I completely resonate with what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like the world needs to be reminded of its own humanity at this point. You know, when you've got, I don't even want to start going. I mean, you're as clued into reality as I am, but my God, there's some shit going on in the world, you know, and it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, and there's shit going in people's houses as well. And like you said, the world needs a hug, and I almost interrupted and said, "I need a hug, Jesus." I'll see if I can sneak a few of those back on track and
just loop them. Or just have a dummy. Just read to a little, like a doll, you know, not even your kid.
That's the best part is you just see like his manly hands come across the frame, and you're like, if you're reading to a guy that works at the docks, you're like, no, that's a 4-year-old with giant body parts. He's enormous. And he's beautiful, and he asks me questions like, Daddy, does God wear a belt? And I say, I don't know, but that might be the best question anybody's ever asked me. And I was talking on stage. I started just sort of bringing these things on stage with me. And the thing is, I don't have a punchline for it. But when I go on stage, I say, my son's obsessed with the crucifixion. And I ask, you know, members of my church and the priest, and they say, oh, most 4-year-old boys are, because it's a Bible for a child. It's like, you know, the photographs and the drawings. They're soldiers. They're Roman soldiers, but they're kind of wearing skirts. So there's this sexual ambivalence and these giant swords and a crown of thorns and kings and Pilate, these people of power. And then he gets put up on a cross and there's blood. And then he flies. And when he flies, he's surrounded by light. So he's almost like a superhero. And it's good triumphing over evil, which is at the very core of every boy and every child, every girl and boy. So my son started asking me these questions. And in this one particular Bible book I got from the local library, they just made Christ look like Wolfman Jack. It was like this really odd Christ. He had like real like Italian like Frank Stallone pompadour hair, and my son called bullshit on it immediately. He goes, "Who's this?" Said, that's Christ.
Well, it's
and
sort
he
of
said, I don't think.
Well,
but he called him out, and then I just on stage started thinking, Guido Jesus, like, hey, I thirst. Come on, like Italian Jesus, right?
Well, I think it's
then you have to land the joke. Then you have to somehow like take this story that's funny. At the start, like when you leave the gate as the horse race, you leave the gate. It's funny, but halfway around the track, you realize, wow, I really got to find a way to fucking land this goddamn story into something hilarious. So that's the game for me now.
It's sort of funny. I mean, you get these kind of, you know, I mean, it's to make a point, you know, guys like Mark Driscoll, who, you know, his church was called Mars Hill like Rob's, but, you know, very different theology. And he sort of says things like, I couldn't worship the Christ on the cross because I couldn't worship someone that I could beat up, you know, and he sort of turns the Jesus in Revelation into this like, you know, WWF wrestler, you know, and it's absurd. And I sort of wonder, are we scared
if you can't worship, hold on. If you can't worship a savior that can get beat up, why do we all love Mohr?
Oh.
Did I cut out?
Yeah, he said, if we can worship a savior, we can beat up.
I was like, wow, I thought that joke was going to be great.
And it's amazing. It's amazing.
Hey. I said, if you can't worship a Christ that can be beat up, then why do we all kneel at the Altar of Morrissey.
I would be criminal not to ask you this, Jay, but what's your time frame like for the next 40 hours? Because we're doing this stream for
48? I'll call you at 3. Call me at 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
How many hours away is that from you?
Look, I used to smoke a lot of pot. Now you're asking me to do math. It's 10:30 Pacific Time.
Okay,
now.
so 4.5 hours.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. Because
but you can text me right now, and I'll text you back and put you in my contacts.
Have you done a Google Hangout before or no?
I don't even know what you're talking.
Google. It's like you. I would just send you a link. Do you video chat on a laptop?
No, not really.
Okay, we can just
do
the
driving it, Briggs.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. No. That's all right. No. Well, that's fine. That's fine. We'll do the phone thing. It's fine. It's probably going to cost me. It's fine.
How come you don't have a New Zealand accent?
What are you talking about? This is what we sound like, you moron.
I'm not. First of all, I'm half Maori. I'll come down there with a stovepipe hat, my tattooed face.
You are not half Maori. You didn't even say it correctly to begin with.
Make the man some eggs, woman.
Cut me some fucking eggs. Oh God, it's amazing. It's amazing. You're amazing, JJ. You're my brother from another mother, as Rob would say.
My man, you can call me at 3 my time?
I absolutely will call you, and I will make sure there's a shitload of people listening.
So who cares? It'll live in forever in the internet.
I know. This is unreal. This is unreal.
I love you, Rob Bell, myself, my friend John Kellerman, who we're going out and pitching a TV show with. Of these questions, you said something that really hit me, and that was you had been asking the wrong question to the people that in this church you were with, and I don't know what a wrong question. I don't need specifics, but I really wanted you to focus on that sentence. You said something incredibly profound.
Yeah.
And I think all Christians, Catholics, whatever you are, if you've ever felt like, if somebody's ever made you feel like you asked the wrong question, get out.
Absolutely.
Or stay in, but keep asking, but keep going and keep searching.
Yeah.
Because science and faith are now no longer opposites. It used to be, do you believe in Christ? Of course not. I'm a scientist. And now it's, do you believe in Christ? Of course I do. I'm a scientist. Faith and science are sort of like in this battle. And like you said, facts and feelings, they're in this battle, but it's not anymore. It's guys like you that make this battle between facts and feelings more of a parallel universe that even though they crisscross here, and it's like a horse race, but the horses kind of criss and they cross. It's not, as Rob Bell said on my podcast, it's not binary. We need everything as humans to be binary.
Oh, this is the atheism rhetoric.
No,
yeah, of course.
Left, right,
of
forward,
course.
backward. Where a lot of times the answer is yes. Is there everlasting life forever? Is there a lake of fire? Do all the Jews that don't accept Christ as the Son of God, is this, is that, is the Buddha? And the answer is just yes. And my answer is none of us are wrong. None of us. Because feelings are our facts.
Yeah.
How I feel can never be debated. You learn that in marriage therapy 101. Don't say, well, you did this, you did that. You say, when you did this, it made me feel this way.
Yeah.
Nobody can say you're wrong because it's how you feel. So I'll leave you with this, and I'll talk to you in a few hours.
Yeah, dude.
Your feelings are your facts. They're your facts. They're irrefutable. They are yours, your feelings, my love. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
Dude, awesome. I love you too.
Okay, darling.
Goodbye, JJ. Alrighty. We are making the call.
All right.
JJ Mohr. I'll put him on the screen. Hold on.
Where were we?
J Mohr, Mr. JJ, welcome to the party.
Hello.
Actually, this is Russell Brand. J Mohr someplace connecting heart, connecting the dark. We're all connected. The space between us is not empty. I ran out of gas a little bit at the end there, like Che Guevara.
Hey, was that complete coincidence you just mentioned Russell Brand? Because he literally just tweeted for the first time in months.
He's my all-time. Oh my God.
Does he follow you, Jay, on Twitter? Does Russell Brand follow you on Twitter, by the way?
No, but he's my white whale. He's the guy I want to talk to.
I know. Can you tweet at him? Tweet him. You're famous. You don't even have to follow him when you're famous. He's Rusty Rockets. Tweet him, JJ. Tweet him.
Listen,
Russell Brand went.
Well, I don't have to do that podcast.
You what?
Everybody listening right now at Rusty Rocket, go on at JMohr37's podcast. You two need one another.
Jay, can you literally Periscope right now, dude?
I'm driving.
Oh, can you?
Periscope?
Oh, hold on. Oh, God. It was like a timer. You can't. Oh, that would be amazing. Just literally switch it on and just yell at your followers. Please, JJ, please.
I don't really yell at them.
No, don't yell at them. Just go on. Just go on Periscope for 2 minutes or a minute and just go, follow Fun Escape Cast on Twitter.
If I go on Periscope, then you and I have to hang up. I got to get on my phone and then the Periscope, and you and I lose our great discussion we were having. Right?
Or I could hang up and you could go on Periscope for 1 minute and then I could call you back.
I'm driving.
all right.
Feeling prick. What part of?
Hey, Corey, dude.
I know you're walking around on a camel.
You literally Periscope walking.
Cars here in the States.
You literally Periscope walking your dogs.
Yeah, the only time I'm not doing anything, I got free time. I got 3 dogs. I call it like a horse race. Sometimes I walk the dogs as impressions. And then you really just over and over. When are you coming to this town? When are you coming to this town? When are you coming to this town? And the answer is it's on my website.
Alrighty. Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the live stream, Jay. This is part 2.
Oh, we're live streaming now. That's amazing. We're live streaming.
We got
the internet. Everybody, all the minds coming together. No matter what, black, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, no matter what you are, Hindu with 14 arms, maybe an elephant's trunk. I got one below my waist. You know what I mean? Nice boat, right?
Alrighty. So, if anyone's got any questions, just some housekeeping rules. If anyone's got any questions for JJ, go to the YouTube stream and go into the comments section immediately. Even you guys on the Hangout, I'm only reading the YouTube things, by the way. Welcome back, Jay. Thank you for your time. You're amazing.
Oh, you're a good man.
It's already a pleasure.
I try.
You got quite a beard and mustache on you.
I thought you'd like that. Even I told my brother James, I'm a twin, by the way. My brother James, who lives in Turkey. Can you say hi to my brother James in Turkey?
James?
Yeah.
Hello? It's Jay Mohr. Your brother is a seeker and a searcher, and if you're in Turkey, obviously you are too. Get home. Be in contact with your brother, your family, and never stop saying I love you to one another. And that's my well wishes to you, brother James.
Oh, thank you so much. That's amazing. It's amazing. Well, look, that's a great place to start the conversation because to get to the point.
No. You started it all this morning by tweeting. Can you be intelligent and empathetic at the same time?
Exactly. So talk about, what was your reaction? You obviously resonated with that question. You found it interesting enough to contact me.
I didn't know who could take the side, and I wanted to hear the side of...
Oh, we lost you, Jay. Hold on. Rewind about 30 seconds. Oh, hold on. What's going on?
It's not me.
Oh, we got you. We got you.
Every day.
No, we got you. We got you. You're back. You're back.
I feel you cannot be empathetic without intelligence because you're a human being. You're a human being. You have fight or flight instinct. So if something terrible happens to somebody, your first instinct is to protect yourself. Make sure that doesn't happen to you. Cover up or get the hell out of there or turn around and fight. And when somebody says to you that something terrible happened to them, to be empathetic, you have to get past your, and I tweeted it with you included at it, you have to get past the, how does this affect me? Why are they telling me this? Oh, this does not concern me. They're sharing something with me. You have to weed through your own self.
Yeah, yeah.
And then extend the empathy, and I think that takes intelligence.
Yeah. So on the subject, you're gonna love this first question on the YouTube comments. It just says, "Why is Jay a Christian? Irrational?"
Why is Jay a Christian? What was the last word?
It just says irrational with a question mark.
Because I'm irrational? Yeah. I need, since I was a child, to believe that there is a greater design. There's a bigger thing out there. I mean, whether it's the giant electron in the sky, like George Carlin says, that we were talking about that this morning, God, Christ, there's something larger. And the teachings of Christ is what you are a Christian about. It's that Christ's teachings are what you follow. You follow the teachings of the Buddha. You follow the word of Allah. It's not you're a Christian because you're irrational. You have rationally, myself, said, I love the fact that this man was so brilliant in his time that kings were furious. He knocked over money. He predicted his own death. I'll tear this temple down. I'll build it back up in 3 days. The resurrection, the entire thing, and it's what we were talking about this morning. You could do that daily. You can die and be born again on a daily basis. Not obviously at the God's Son level, but I'll tell you this. This is where the rational part comes. My particular parish, St. Monica's in Santa Monica, California, there was a new priest, Father Tim, who was like 33, right out of the seminary, young guy. I've seen him surfing actually a couple times at Topanga. I knew him from surfing. I didn't know he was a priest. So I was brand new to the church, and they hooked us up like, hey, you guys hang out. You're new. He's new. And I said, I always had a problem with John 3:16. And he said, why? I said, well, those who believe in Christ as the Son of God will have everlasting life. He goes, yeah. I said, well, the parenthetical of that is those who do not will not have everlasting life. He goes, yes. I go, so a rabbi who doesn't believe that Christ is the Son of God and does nothing but pray and study, a Talmud scholar, is waiting for the first coming. He's going to be in a lake of fire for eternity. Hindus, Buddhists, Muslims, American Indians, the natives, they had no concept of the Christ. Everybody born before 0 or 7 AD, if you want to get really technical about the birth of Christ, right around 7 AD. Everyone's in a lake of fire except these people that have just woken up. And then he said to me, why don't you read the sentence before that? Christ is the Son of Man. And I said, well, okay. And he said, you have a child. I said, yes. Your child, long after you're gone, will have your last name and tell stories about you. You're eternal. If your child has a boy with your last name, what was your grandfather like? That's immortality. There are many different ways to reach immortality. And it was the first time a member of a religion or a person in power, a teacher, a director from movies, had ever taken my question and not said, no, you're wrong in this way, and said, or you could focus on, he's the Son of Man.
Yeah.
You and your child and your father, your grandfather, Jack Mohr, the band leader.
Yeah.
And that blew my mind.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say, Jay, look, I mean, I did, in my first email, I think I sent you like 4 times, by the way, I literally said, I don't give a shit that you're famous. I want to talk to you because you're fascinating. You know, like, I did want to get a little bit Hollywood for 10 seconds, but like, I just wanted, like, you know, the movie Pay It Forward is one of my all-time favorite movies, right? And I was quite fascinated, like, after hearing you talk to, the first time you talked to Rob Bell, I was sort of like fascinated because I was like, the character you played in that movie kind of seemed just like you, right? Like it was this kind of curious seeker, right? Like, that can't have been a hard role to pull off. It
was a bit easy, but the thing that was the high wire act for me is knowing, I'll get way inside Hollywood for you. If you watch Pay It Forward, everything I say in that movie could have been edited out of the movie and replaced with a newspaper at somebody's front door. Think about it. I go to Helen Hunt's house in Las Vegas, and I say the movement has reached all the way to New York City.
It's like a walking newspaper.
That's all. The whole movie, except for the opening scene where the guy gives me his car and starts the whole Pay It Forward thing. Everything I say could have just been somebody walking by saying it to like a coworker.
Jay, honestly, dude, I'm not just kissing your ass. I think that's horseshit, dude. Like, you fucking own. Like, you were so pivotal.
No. I'm not saying I wasn't great in the movie. Oh. No.
I thought you were being self-deprecating.
The actual dialogue.
Of course.
The dialogue that I was assigned to play was all, what's the word? I was just laying pipe. I was just setting stuff up for others.
Yeah.
I never had like a scene.
But it's, But you were sort of like, to make an analogy, like you were sort of like the Tim character in The Office, right? Like the outside observer to what's going on. Like you were sort of like the eyes of the audience.
Exposition.
Yeah.
Everything I say is exposition.
Yeah.
When I was on Ghost Whisperer, I was the exposition guy.
You were on Ghost Whisperer?
Find a ghost. Yeah, for a few years. That was a good gig. I worked 2 days. It was great. But everything I said was like, I think what you're looking for is a ghost from the Hakawi tribe of the Maori Indians, the Cheeto, really. They're in the jungle of the rainforest and the this and the that and that. And then she goes and talks to the ghost, and all of a sudden she's got all this knowledge.
You've done some you've done Family Guy, right?
Yeah. Family Guy, Simpsons. I was Christopher Walken on The Simpsons because he wanted too much money. Simpsons.
We literally just watched your we just watched on the screen. We just chucked up your Christopher Walken impression. It was amazing.
Wow, he's a big Christian as well. One thing people don't ever realize about the Christ. Yeah. He had a swimmer's build. He was a swimmer. His body, the shoulders, slim physique. And back in those days, everybody ate far too much bread. Now, Jesus, he's slim. It's crazy.
Hey, guys, there's a couple of you.
Build. Yes, sir.
Anyone who's listening on the live stream, do you want to start typing some questions? I know that when you talked to Rob Bell the first time, you sort of jokingly said, you're like, come to my comedy show. Come talk to me about Christ, Like, you're pretty open about everything, right? Yeah, so guys, if you... Yeah. Anyone who's listening, just throw some questions.
Comedy show, and then he just wanted to interview me about comedy, because, I don't know. It's a weird... Yes, let's do some questions.
I'll come up with some if nobody does, but that's cool. Does anyone have any questions for JJ? My favorite
book of the Bible.
Oh, someone's talking. What's your favorite book? My favorite book. You're asking me? Okay.
The other guy on the line I'm talking to on the podcast across the country.
Shut up, JJ. I don't know if I have
You shut up. Look.
You shut up. Sorry, Leaf. Hold on. You got a question, dude? I'll put your mic up to the. Go. What's? I'm thinking about. I'm doing a corporate dodge like Rob Bell. Hold on, 1 second. 1 second, JJ. Hold on. Go. Ask your question.
Okay. In brief, since you are in fully support of Christianity from what it appears to be, and have a modern take on how it's being processed through America and the world overall, what do you feel is the general appreciation of God and our current society? Is it still a big part of America and many virtues around the world, or are we at a point where it's tipping into some negativity and being greatly attacked? Is there an oppressive vibe against Christianity today?
You repeat that for me.
Okay, he was basically it's hard to hear. I'm holding the mic up to a laptop. So he was essentially saying, do you feel like the climate of Christianity today has changed, especially in America? Like, can you kind of keep going with your question, because I can hear you clearly?
Yeah, sorry. Is there an oppressive atmosphere against Christianity?
Well, first of all, it's a Christian-based America, and in any election cycle, I mean, look, the headlines today was Joel Osteen saying great things about Donald Trump. He's trending on.
Oh dear God! Oh, we're still losing you a bit there.
Hold on, I'll be there. Let me get through this dead spot here.
JJ, don't leave us.
Hold on. I'm not gonna leave you.
I'm crying.
He's doing this while driving.
I'm triggered.
Here I am.
Here I am.
You there now?
Yeah, go.
I think the climate is changing, but I think it's happening slowly. And this answer, I think, is going to make a lot of people think that I'm crazy. And the Catholic Church, because of its past awful things that happened with the pedophilia and the oversight and the ignoring of the awful, terrible things that have happened, has been sort of pushed into this progressive state of mind. I mean, you have a pope that's kissing like prostitutes' feet, and he doesn't have a pope mobile, that bulletproof thing that they all had. He's just out amongst the people, and the sign above my church says all are welcome. But I think as long as conversations like we're having right now, as long as people like Rob Bell are writing books, John Shelby Strong, as long as these conversations happen, and as long as we can continue to ask questions, we can change the climate to right and wrong, and you're in or you're out, or how about none of us are wrong because we've never been there and come back, so let's all have a conversation about it. So I think the discussion is picking up steam. That's what excites me about religion today in the States.
Yeah, it's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Thank you.
I would say... Thank you, he says. One of my favorite books of the Bible, to answer your question, I do like sort of Rob Bell talks about this, the Book of Lamentations, the sort of lamenting and the grief, and I guess it's the question. The answer to that question changes depending on when you ask it, right? I mean, I literally have a really close friend of mine who just like 2 days ago, lost his mother to cancer, right? And he called me up the same day, and I just said, look, dude. I said, you got to feel this shit. I said, you got to own everything you feel, and don't do. I literally said to him, Jay, I said, don't do this Christian thing where you don't let yourself feel the pain, right? Like, because I sort of grew up in that world, and I was like, just own it. Own everything you feel. I said, call me at 2 a.m. I don't give a fuck. Like, do whatever you need to do. Get this shit out, right? Like, Rob Bell's just gone live on Facebook. What's he doing? Why isn't he with us? What the hell, JJ?
What is the Christian thing of not feeling?
Oh, it's okay. Sorry. So you may have grown up. You're Catholic. You're probably more right than me. But I grew up in an evangelical world, and I grew up in a world where you sort of, to make a point that's very personal. I grew up with just my mum. So my mum had 3 sons, and she's amazing. And shout out to my mum. Hey, mum. Talking to Jay Mohr. Say hi to my mum, Jay. Her name's Lynette.
Lenise?
Lynette.
Hi, Lenise, my love.
No, Lynette. Lynette. Lynette.
Oh, Lynette?
Yeah.
She's even more beautiful than Lenise.
It means like songbird or something. I don't know. Yeah, my mum's amazing.
Buddy Hackett. Hello, Lynette. I remember you from the Catskills. You were wonderful, and you had 3 beautiful boys. Good for you.
So to make the point, I mean, I grew up without my dad, and I sort of wasn't allowed to be angry at him because we were Christians, right? And we're not allowed to do that, and we sort of have to be friends with everybody. And yeah, I think it's beautiful that you sort of don't get what I'm saying, because it means you didn't really grow up with that kind of baggage. But I did, and it kind of sucks.
I don't know if that's so much evangelical as much as your mom respecting somebody that wasn't there to defend themselves, maybe.
Yeah.
Like I have my first child is a child of divorce. My 13-year-old, his mom and I loathe one another, but when I see him, I don't say anything bad about it.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Well.
No. To make a point, like, I totally get that part of it, but it was more than that, quite honestly. It was. Like, it was literally this, like, Dad ignores us and we're not allowed to be upset about it and shit like that. So it wasn't just that. But I totally take your point.
If I'm going to play I can play psychiatrist for you. I'm good at it.
Oh, go, please.
Your mom had to go through so much to make peace with the fact that she was saddled with raising 3 children by herself. At all means, anything it took, whatever. She went without, so you had. And so for her to come to a place in her mind and in her heart and write it, like, all right, I've forgiven this guy, I'm moving, she can't have 3 children telling her this guy sucks because she's made peace with it. She doesn't want to go backwards.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That was
Think of how long it took your mom to not think of your father and have bile in her gut and want to just go to his house and hit him with a bat. And she finally reaches a book. Because look, the opposite of love is not hate, my friend. The opposite of love is indifference.
Oh, God. Oh, yes. Hell yes. Absolutely.
Your mother reached indifference. She reached indifference.
Yeah.
And if you and your brothers are popping off about how much Dad sucks because he's not here, you know what? I don't want to hear it. Don't talk that way.
Yeah.
That's all. It's the 4 of us. Now it's the 4 of us.
Yeah.
Are we going forwards or backwards?
Yeah. Wowza, Roni. This is not the conversation I planned to have in my head, but it's beautiful, quite frankly.
The opposite of love is not hate, my friend.
Yeah.
Indifference. You know, a buddy of mine, Kevin Ortiz.
I know that name.
He DM'd me, and he asked me if I could go back to biblical times, what's the one thing I would want to see? And my answer was so immediate that it confounded me that other people would have different answers. I said the resurrection, of course. I mean, that's the entire faith is based on the resurrection, the Holy Spirit. And then he wrote me back, battle with the devil. And then I realized I'd never said it aloud or typed it. I don't believe in the devil. I believe in evil as a permeating force. You can't have good without it. You can't have darkness without light. But as far as like a guy that went to like devil training, and I'm gonna run around for eternity and try to get into people's heads. So I don't know. It was very interesting to me that different people have different things in the Bible that they really want to wrap their minds around. And if you could go back into biblical times, what would be the one thing above all? What part? Where would you like to go? What would you like to see?
Yeah, well, again, I'd have to say that, I mean, at the moment, the first thing that comes to my mind is Jesus wept, you know? But that's only because of where I'm at right now. Like, I'm just like...
You can change your mind?
Of course. Yeah. Sorry, we're not atheists here. We're not all binary.
That's not what you said when I talked
Can
to
you...
you.
I know that we... I know...
No.
I want to be very careful how we have this conversation, but I know that we sort of railed against atheism in our last call. Can you, for those who are listening, and there's a few of us, and it's recorded anyway, so it's fine, but what's your deal? What's your beef with atheism, Jay?
I don't have a beef with atheism on its own as a concept in the belief of, this is the thing too, when you speak of atheism and you define it, you're immediately corrected on Twitter, that's not what atheism is. Okay.
That's what feminists do as well.
Atheists, to my understanding, do not believe that there is a God, a higher power, or something like an afterlife, eternal life, heaven, hell, anything after this, it's just gone, you're vapor locked, you're done. But my beef with atheism and atheists, it's not with atheism, because that's your belief, and if that's how you feel, you can't be wrong, is if that is your belief, and you believe that nothing happens, why do you feel the need to sell that? Why do you feel the need to be on television or on Twitter or like a Richard Dawkins or a Ricky Gervais making fun of people that have faith and people that have belief because it's working for us? If I root for a certain team, that's just a team I root for. I'm not wrong. I'm from that town. That's the team I root for. I believe in Christ as the Son of God, and more importantly, the Son of Man. That's what I believe. That is what has worked for me for 44 years. That belief system, and it's never failed me, ever.
I love it.
I've never been left. I've never when I go to Mass it's like they've read my file for the week. It's a little stunning. So don't tell me I'm wrong and I believe in a fantasy and an invisible man in the sky, because I don't. I believe that you should just replace the word God with the word love. God, love. You believe in love. Because the big thing they always say is, well, prove God. And I say, well, how do you prove love? I need you to prove love to me right now. Prove it. What's love? Do you have love? Yeah. Well, prove love right now. Prove what love is.
Oh, it's adorable. I love it. I love it.
My son just, hold on, buddy. Talking about eternal life. What is it, buddy? Mac. Let me text his dad when I get up the phone.
Say hi to the thin-skinned atheist.
Hang in, buddy. Do you say your prayers every night? What's your favorite part of the Bible, Meredith? The cross. He loves the crucifixion. Who got Jesus on the cross? Romans. They're just like soldiers. But what did Jesus do that made everybody upset? You're tired. You don't know now. When I tell my son, oh, stay with me, I'll back in, honey. You want to stay right here? I'll back the truck in. Whenever I talk to my son about Christ, as a father, it's kind of neat. Like, you can set the table any way you see fit. Am I going to go heavy on the guy? Or do I just say, this guy was a teacher, and people followed him because what he was teaching was love. And money was not the answer. And all those kings got upset with him. And that's really just the only thing I've ever told them about the guy. And then a 4-year-old kid wants to know, well, what did he teach? Why did he upset everybody? You know? But I'm not going to tell him if he doesn't follow, like, you know, what your mom told you as an evangelical, the fire and brimstone, because that's not what it's about for me, you know?
Yeah. And to that point, I mean, on the whole, I talked to Rob about Love Wins, and I sort of said, oh, look, I don't want to get into the controversial side of it. And he goes, that book was not controversial, right? And the point is, you know, every single person that railed against Love Wins didn't read it, for one. You know, it was absurd. And I don't think anybody, I mean, look, Jay, I was a street evangelist for 5 years, man. Like, I preached this heaven-hell narrative, you know? And I sort of, it all crumbled to pieces, and I had to figure it out. And I don't think anybody believes the rhetoric anyway.
Yeah, I don't know why Love Wins is controversial at all. There's a chapter called Does God Get What He Wants? And in that chapter, it's essentially the front page of church websites talking about dying and forever eternity in a lake of fire, and with a conscience of what you've done wrong, and then he quotes passages of the Bible of God being all loving, and Christ and everybody in the Bible talking about love, 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 love. So is he right all the time? Is God right some of the time?
Yeah.
Is God always right? Because according to this book, he says it's all about the love, understanding and acceptance, and this and that. And it really goes back to the John Shelby Spong book, more so, and that is you have to rescue the Bible from fundamentalism.
Oh man, I love that. I love when you said that title. I still haven't read that book, but I got blessed from hearing you say the title.
Well, he was an evangelical. No, excuse me. He was an Episcopalian archbishop in Newark, New Jersey, and he accepted gays and lesbians into his church, and they tried to defrock him. This isn't like some, you know, lefty cackling loon at University of California, Berkeley. This is an archbishop that is saying, if you love...
Oh, God, we lost him. Oh, no. Oh, no. Hold on.
Such a shame. We can get him back, though.
Hold on. I'll get him back. Jay Mohr. What
Would
happened?
there be time for one more question?
Can you just type your questions?
I got you now.
Jay, we lost you. That was
You with me?
That was traumatic.
Here now. I'm going to leave you on this. I'm going to be a dad. Got me now?
Yeah, you go nuts.
John Shelby Spong is everybody holds on to the one sentence in the Bible, man ought not lay down with another man, it being an abomination. So he says, if we're going to interpret this book literally, then you have to have your testicles crushed in public if you touch a woman while she's on her period. If you ate shellfish, Leviticus, you're going to hell. You cannot eat shellfish. Lot had sex with both of his daughters as they fled Sodom and Gomorrah. Let's get father drunk. They gave him wine, and they laid down with him, and they populated a city with that offspring. So then you're rubber stamping incest is okay. God, like, he just goes through the entire Bible, and he connects all the dots of this can't possibly be the way it's supposed to be. But it's the archbishop. It's not a crackpot. So he just stood his ground, and he wrote this beautiful book. And that's where I got most of my Bible knowledge. Was just I was in San Francisco doing stand-up comedy, and I went across the street to buy a Bible because he would say Lot had sex with his daughters, parentheses Genesis and whatever the number is. And I'm like, wow, wait a minute. And I went and I bought it, and that's what it says. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So I would say replace the word God with love. None of us are wrong. Let's embrace the discussion. And if that's how somebody feels, they're not wrong. They're not wrong.
Yeah.
Your mom was not wrong. That's how she felt.
Yeah.
Just don't tell me how
to
I
make it I'd love to get specific here.
Real fast, hold on one sec. Just don't tell me how I should feel. Otherwise, there will be a penalty because my God is bigger than that.
Yeah, absolutely. I sort of want to ask this question very specifically, like the whole conversation about this intelligence and empathy kind of dialogue. I'm in this sort of echo chamber, this sort of, as I say, this sort of anti-feminist, feminist, like doesn't matter what the subject is, it quite honestly doesn't matter, but it's this kind of idea that one group seems to be all about the facts and one group seems to be all about the feelings, and it seems to be a little off balance. And I sort of wonder, how do we navigate this shit?
Well, Jehovah's Witnesses are all about the facts. A Jehovah's Witness follows the word of the Bible completely. That's why they don't celebrate birthdays. They don't believe in blood transfusions, because it's just not in the Bible. They don't celebrate the birth of Christ. That date is not in the Bible. The Last Supper they celebrate, and that's a moving date according to, like, literally, like the moon, the calendar, and that type of vigilance and that's a discipline I do not have. And I was speaking to a Jehovah's Witness. He was a driver. He was taking me to ESPN, and I learned more in that 12 minutes in my entire first 44 years of life. And that was, I asked him, then why do you guys go door to door? And he said, well, to help out. They ask you if you need. I said, whoa. Brother Matthew, you're going door to door because it's a donation-based faith. You need the donation. And he said, yeah. I go, no, it's just you and me. We hold the baton at the same time in our love for Christ. That's where we connect. So when I let go of the baton and let you run with it, at least be straight up with me. Yeah. And he said, yeah. And what's amazing about Jehovah's Witnesses, I'll pay them an enormous compliment, they will not vote, ever. Because man cannot rule over man. Only God can rule over man. Therefore, by not voting, brother, they can never be in the pocket of any politician. It does not apply to them. I found that to be very admirable.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
But I said to the guy, it's a tough hustle because I love Christ. And I'm raising a child. And I have a wife. And I go to Mass. And I pray. You know, and he said, yeah, to Mary, that's a false idol. And I said, whoa. I'm not praying to Mary. I'm praying in the grace of Mary. I'm praying in the grace of, I'm not saying, hey, Mary, hook this up for me, and I'm praying in her grace. Yeah. He did not understand. Like, so I was teaching him things that he had preconceived notions, and he was helping me with my preconceived notions about Jehovah's Witnesses.
That's beautiful.
That's the conversation that has to happen. Give me 1 minute, okay? Yeah, 1 minute. And then what I said to him was, if you're going door to door, he goes, look, it's a burning building, and I know the way out. The Jehovah's Witness they have the way out of the burning building. I said, yes, but you're coming. Let's say you go to the house of Father Tim, who I mentioned earlier. If you want to go up the ladder, Monsignor Torgerson, who's run this church that I go to for 40 years. I mean, he buried Chris Farley. He married Tom Brady. We call him Father Hollywood. You go to his house, knock on his door, and then when you leave, you think because he's not a Jehovah's Witness, he's going to burn in a lake of fire. And he says, well, I go, no, that is binary. And he said, yes. I said, well, you're in a tough spot. That's a tough thing to sell to somebody when you're going to a house that already loves Christ.
Yeah.
I'm not loving Christ the right way.
Yeah. I love this, Jay. I love what you're saying because you're talking about
Let's
what I'm.
do it again.
What's that?
You have my phone number now. So
Yeah, I'm gonna
next
call you
time-
like once a day. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No. Yeah, dude. Can
No,
we?
you can. It's fine. Every day at 3 o'clock I'm available. But in the morning when we did it the first time, I think it was nighttime. your
Okay.
time,
Okay.
I'm
Cool.
available at those times every day.
Daily. Should we just start a podcast together, Jay? Faith and religion. We'll start a podcast together.
Yeah. I mean, if it gets the message out that people can just believe what they believe.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't do it every
Maybe
day.
the person you're speaking with is not wrong.
Yeah.
That's how they feel.
I love
But
what
don't
you've
let that
said.
person tell you that you're wrong.
I love it, dude. I love it because you're not.
I love you.
I love you. I love you too. You called me a brother in my first email. That was amazing. We were destined to be together.
I have to go be a father right now.
I know. I'll let you go, dude. I love that you're with your kids. It's amazing. It's amazing. Thanks, dude. It finally happened, Corey.
Seriously.
I'm a very determined person. Can you tell?
No, it was great. You know what? You asked the right question
Yeah.
and got his, got him going.
Oh, it's amazing.
So that was perfect, and it was
Yeah.
everything that was said was amazing.
Oh, it was incredible. And I mean, someone on the stream just said, look, they said, I don't even know who this Jay guy is, but he sounds really down to earth, you know?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and he's literally one of the smartest guys I know, and he's got so much knowledge.
Yeah. Oh, he's incredibly smart. You can tell. It's amazing. Oh, that's so cool. What's going on in the background, Corey?
Huh?
What's going on in the background?
I just walked into my daughter's gym because they both do competitive gymnastics. So we're here to do homework, have a snack, and then have them go to the gym for 3-4 hours.
Nice. Well, I'd just like to go on record, Corey. I'll let you go, but I just want to say thank you so much for your patience and your empathy with my situation.
No, thank you so much for your patience. I mean, I kept, we're going to do it. Let's see. I kept pushing you off, but you got him with the right question.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now I'm going to give him a little I'm going to rattle a little when I see him later on.
Yeah, absolutely. Give him a hug for me.
I will.
Awesome. Thanks, Corey.
Don't be a stranger now that you've got his number.
I know. I see. He literally said I can call him at 3 o'clock every day. I just might. I won't. No, I won't do it every day. I won't do it. I promise.
When he said that, I'm like, oh, you don't know Mohr.
No. I won't. I promise. I won't. I won't. I'll call him once a month. All right. Thanks, Corey.
All chocolate. You can't have that. You're welcome. I'll talk to you later.
See you. Bye.